Oh,
Morning everyone, afternoon. For our TV cameras, just a point, David Higgins is going to speak first today and he's going to speak from the lectern, so just for your positioning, David will be here to start with, and then when the rest of our guests arrive, we'll be on the microphones in the middle of the room here. So first of all, good afternoon, welcome along to this press conference for the Stonewood Homes Fight of the Century, Parker v Farr. Some of you may have heard some rumours already, but today we're going to get some official word from our JUCO management, from the fighters and their management, and another great announcement to make to you as well. So we really do thank you for being here at the iHeart Lounge at NZB today, and it gives me a great pleasure now to welcome to the lectern from JUCO, David Higgins.
Thank you, Scotty. Hey, look, thank you all for coming today for another announcement for the Stonewood Homes Parker Farr landmark boxing event. We decided to hold today and get the two camps together in honour of all the conspiracy theorists out there, all the people who think it's all cloak and dagger and the fight's not going to happen. We've been through this before, it's a sense of deja vu again. The David Shane Cameron fight, Cameron took a tune-up fight, broke his hand, and it got delayed 5 months or so. It ended up a bigger event. So, you know, the best way to deal with the conspiracy theorists is get the two camps together. And the reason we're here is I got a phone call on Thursday morning, or confirmation, that Junior Farr was not well and had to go into surgery tomorrow for a procedure that would prevent him training for a month. Now, that left us no choice but to reschedule the event early next year, because we want both guys fully fit. I'm sure the paying public want both guys fully fit, and so we're going to hold the event early next year, probably late February or early March. And we'd like to acknowledge everyone who's supported the promotion to date, bought tickets and tables, the sponsors. We thank you for your understanding. This is boxing, these things happen. And so I'll leave it at that, and we'll get the two teams out here to address the public.
Thank you very much, David. David's just going to stay up on the floor while we invite our fighters and their management up. So if I could welcome to the front of the room Junior Farr along with Mark Cadell and Eugene Bareman as trainer. Also Joe Parker along with Kevin Barry, David, and I'd like you to stay with our fighters and management as well, if you could please. The way this is going to work, guys, is I'll ask each of our men on stage one quick question or two. They can address the cameras rather than addressing me. That would be great for our coverage here today. And I'd like to start with you, Mark, if I could please, if you could just step forward for us. Mark, just if you could please, can you outline exactly what the situation that Junior's facing is?
Yeah, so Junior had a tough session one day, and we had a problem afterwards. It caused an issue internally with him, and so we noticed a pretty big drop-off in his training all of a sudden. So we got some blood tests done, which we were having to do anyway. And they came back on Monday at 2 o'clock, and Dr. David Nyika, who's the fight doctor, based on those results, wouldn't allow him to fight. So then I spent the week with surgeons, well, two surgeons, an internal specialist and a GP, figuring out what we need to do and how to get it right. I think that Better Entertainment notified David Higgins on Thursday morning, formally, after we got our medical certificate through from the fight doctor, and here we are, and we've got to have an operation tomorrow, fix things up, and just what we've got to do. Extremely gutted that we can't fight on the 12th, put a lot of hard work into it. I think David Higgins and I, we work well together, we've got a really good relationship, and our goal is to get the boys in the ring as quick as humanly possible so that they can both move on with their careers as well. One guy will win and one guy will lose, but the magic of this fight is that both guys want to fight, and they obviously took the fight because they both think they can win. So for me, it's about getting Junior back in the ring as quick as possible in training, and having the fight as quick as humanly possible, so that both boys can continue in their career. I mean, this is the world number 3 and the world number 6 for the WBO, so there's a lot at stake internationally for the future, and I know that Joseph and Junior will be focusing just on this fight, but the prizes and the spoils of this fight are huge. So, you know, we're very motivated to win. We've trained very hard. We're really gutted, but we've just got to do what we've got to do.
Mark, just one more from me, mate. Look, are you confident that, given this fight will be rescheduled late February, early March, that Junior will be in the best shape by then?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I should basically be a doctor now after the amount of time I spent with doctors last week. And yeah, everyone's very confident that things will go well. We've got got a great surgeon tomorrow. I've had some great advice all week last week, and so we're very confident. You know, short of catching COVID in the hospital, you know, we'll be happy days.
Thank you, Mark and Al. If you could step back and we'll invite Junior Farr to the front. Just a reminder to those of you in the room, there will be a chance to ask any of our fighters and management a question in just a few moments' time. Junior, just give us a sense of where you're at this moment with your thought process. You were training pretty hard, you were looking forward to this, so how are you coming to terms with this delay?
I'll be honest, I was gutted when I was told that I wasn't going to fight. Although on the week beforehand I could feel the drop off in my performance, where in the part of the camp I should have been picking up, I was actually going down, and for some reason I didn't know what the cause of that was until we done our blood test, and then just like Mark said, the blood results didn't come back right, and then we got pulled from the fight. But my thought pattern was a bit gutted. I've had a week to basically get over that and just focus on a new possible date. So, like, you know, I'm just kind of looking forward to becoming 100% back into full training, and then, you know, the sooner that can happen, then the sooner I can fight, and I'm just looking forward towards the fight once again.
Thanks, Junior. Appreciate your time today. Again, there will be a chance to ask Junior some questions from the floor in a few moments' time. Kevin, if I could invite you to the microphones. Obviously, you had a plan, and December 12th was fight night. You've been training towards that, and you've come a long way to be here for this training block. So, how does this make you readjust your plans now?
Well, obviously, we were very disappointed. Our training camp was very solid. We'd got 50 rounds of sparring in, and Joe was getting better and looking better in the gym every week. And all the signs were there that we would be peaking by December 12th. So, you know, we are disappointed. It's been a crazy year, and we thought we'd salvage the year by having this big fight in New Zealand at the end of the year. Joe, even when he found the news that the Junior wouldn't be fighting, still continued to train. Trained Friday, he did sprint work on Saturday. We broke camp on Saturday and decided that you know, he will now stay out of the boxing gym for the next 5-6 weeks. He'll continue with his cardio. I'm going to go down to Christchurch and spend some time with my mother, who's just had some surgery. And we'll be looking to start camp again at the beginning of January.
Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate it. And finally, Joseph, over to you. Obviously, delays are part and parcel of boxing. You can't always control everything. But again, as I've asked Junior, how does this make you now re-pivot, and what is your approach from here?
Firstly, thank you all for coming today. Good morning. Just the news of not being able to fight 12th December was quite hard, you know, preparing in camp and doing some sparring and doing our rounds in the gym, and I wanted to really get a good fight in and a good win in before Christmas so I can celebrate. But you know, hopefully we get this sorted, and hopefully I wish Junior all the best with his surgery tomorrow, and hopefully he can recover well and get 100% so we can, you know, put on a great fight in the new year. In the meantime, like Kevin mentioned, I'm going to take some time off and relax. No boxing, just, you know, running and keeping the cardio up. And once we lock in this new date, I'll be fully prepared to give it 100%.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate your time today. All of our men up on stage. If there are any questions from the floor, we'd love you to ask them now. So I'll hand it over to our gathered press and guests and let you go for it.
Junior, can we start with you? Is that okay? Sure. Is it easier to go one at a time kind of thing? Yeah. Well, first of all, are you able to give us any more detail about what's wrong?
Not really, not too much more detail. Just basically want to say that I'm not feeling 100%, and that I'm feeling a lot more unfit than I should be. But like things are going towards the end, and I'm going to be 100% once the fight does happen.
Are you concerned at all that a kind of lack of training time and the surgery might lead to you being on the back foot come late February, March?
No, I think so. I don't think too much can be lost in the time that I'm going to be off training. But I'm always going to be doing, something. I'm not going to be doing too much while I recover. But there's always something I can do, and I think I put in a lot of work to basically help me to basically carry my fitness through the time that I'll be off. But as this year's come, it's been quite unpredictable. So I can't promise too much, but I'm gonna be the best that I can be come fight night.
How confident are your medical team about when it comes to predicting your recovery timeframes and things like that?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think, so obviously I spent all the meetings with Junior over last week, and, short of having an infection or, we're going to be pretty good, so everyone's very confident. He's got to have a general anaesthetic, so he's in hospital all day and night, so he is under for it, so it's not a minor surgery, but it's something that the surgeon's very confident in, and, like I said, short of an infection, which is very, very, very rare, he's going to be good to go pretty quickly, So and I think that the body of work that Junior's done over the last kind of year and a half, he is going to lose some aerobic capacity over the next few weeks. Of course he will. Every athlete does. You can only kind of hold that for a couple of weeks, and we've obviously got to fix something up which was impacting his performance, as well as getting the effect sorted, right? So we've got to fix the cause, fix the effect, and I think we'd like to be in full camp by the start of January, just like Kevin is with Joseph. Yeah.
Junior, are there any silver linings to the delay in date? I guess one I'm thinking of is Carlos Berg, who you're potentially going to be using to spar against. You weren't going to be able to use him because he's stuck in America. Is that the silver lining, and are there any more to that?
Well, for that, I don't know, because, the thing with Carlos is that he might actually have a fight by the time that I'm fighting too, so, that's not promised for me. But in terms of a silver lining, I kind of no silver lining, because I did want to get something in this year. I mean, it's been over a year since I fought now. But, I just got to keep my focus strong and, cemented on this fight, which I am, and then just basically look forward to the new day.
What conversations have you had with yourself and Eugene about the balance of that with the City Kickboxing group and the different fights that you're all sort of managing together? Because I think you're hoping to have Israel in your corner as well for the fight. Does that change? And what are the conversations you've had with the change of day in terms of how you balance the commitments?
I think we just take it as it comes, really.
Look, it's like now with this date, it's highly likely that Israel and the UFC guys would be occupied now, like especially coming into March. That plan was already, that plan already got stumbled by the fact that they got caught over in America. So there's a chance that me and Israel and the rest of the boys, and including myself, won't be able to fight, but the show must go on. Like one thing that we've been reminded of through this is through renegotiating this fight and getting it on again, this is 100% the Higgins show. Like, we're the B-side of this. To get this to the point where we are now, it's all cordial up here, but it's a shit fight, you know, backstage to get this to where we are now. So, you know, David experienced this when Joseph went and fought Anthony Joshua. He had Eddie Hearn on his ass. Now he's paying it back to us and getting some back. Eddie Hearn was on him. Now he's on us, making us work hard for every little thing that we got. We lose the main advantage we had. And the main advantage we had was these guys weren't taking this fight seriously. And now, you know that by the Kevin Barry took his time coming back. We were already training for 4 weeks before they decided to even bring their trainer back and start. You know, like, look, my gym, City Kickboxing, we run these streets, okay? If you're partying with celebrities or you're partying with scumbags like me and Doug, we know what you're doing. These guys are from Vegas. We run these streets. We have our ear on the streets. If you're not taking this fight seriously, we know about it. Now they might be taking this fight a lot more seriously. Now they've got more time, so we lose that advantage. We're absolutely gutted that we lose that advantage now. We wanted that. We felt that that was the thing that was going to put us over the edge, is that we were taking this fight very seriously. And my team felt that they weren't taking it seriously. And, you know, now they've got more time. They've seen the shape their juniors in. Now I think we're going to lose a part of that advantage. You know, the other thing, I know you've got David Nyika, and I love you, David. David's, you know, I thought he was a CKB guy, but he's gone to the dark side. That's fine. But you got David here. Why isn't Hemia here up here? Remember we put Hemia here. Yeah, but why isn't he up here? Why isn't he part of the press conference for the you know?
It's coming up. He's welcome.
For the undercard. But he wasn't invited here. You invited David. He wasn't invited here. He should be. Remember, we put him forward to step in on.
Bring him up.
We put him in to step in on this fight. We put him in. We put him here forward to step in on whatever notice to save the state if they wanted the fight. I just think he should be part of the undercard. He's like the main fight for the undercard. Yes, you're going to bring in David and all his credentials, but look, potentially there's a fight right there. There's the biggest fight of the undercard right there. They're basically the same weight. He should be a part of the. He should be a part of the press conference. He's the main fight on the undercard. He's got an opponent, but if his opponent pulls out, he's available. He can fight David. That's nothing against David. I love David. He's a CKB guy. In fact, now that the whole thing's been rehashed, maybe David could come and spar Junior, maybe. Or what I can do is I can make you an offer. I can help you push up the money that David's. I can help you push up the money, brother, so that they have to pay you more. Maybe I can help with that. But yeah, we're absolutely gutted about this whole thing. We're just going to get back to work, and you know, like, we don't have to, like, things have been too nice. This is a fight. At the end of the day, this is a fight. This is like, we're all very respectful to each other, but sometimes in all this media and all this coverage, like, sometimes you can lose sight of what this really is. And this is a fight, and it's going to get nasty, and respect to Joseph and respect to Kevin. I like those guys, but at the same time, you know, stuff those guys. They can kiss my ass. Like, this is a fight. Okay? Thank you. That's all I got to say.
Thanks, Hugh. David and Kevin, would you like to respond to those comments?
I think that was a nice rant by Eugene, and we do a promotion needs that. But he always had me feeling sorry for him. But the reality is, we're the financial underwriter of the show. We signed every contract. We've taken all the risk. There's rumour of a pre-existing condition, so I'll put that elephant back in the room. So, frankly, we're a bit pissed off at the carry-on from their camp. They pissed us around. So do I feel sorry for these other changes? Not at all. You know, we're the ones taking the financial risk.
No,
There's no other opportunities in New Zealand now. And so we've been put out a lot, but hey, it's boxing, we roll with the punches, so we've got to renegotiate everything, get the show back on, and then at least these guys are going to fight fully fit. So for that reason I won't complain, because I do want them both fully fit in a fair fight. For me, that's important. And I just hope that Joseph Parker makes them pay for that extra time we've had to wait.
David, if there's another delay, how likely is it that the fight goes to
Well, look, at the end of the day, they're going to want the money. It's a huge amount of money. And if they stuff it up again, then they probably won't get another payday like this. So, they could play that political sanction body game of padding records and getting a fake title shot and try and get probably still less money than this fight. Because the biggest payday Junior had is more than every payday he's ever had. So if they, I don't think...
There doesn't have to be a delay. We can just agree now. If Joseph gets injured, no matter what his injury is, we fight. If Junior gets injured, no matter how bad it is, we fight.
You don't know, Joseph might have been carrying an injury anyway, and he was fighting. So at the end of the day, there's a lot of money on the line. There's no other opportunities. And that's why I got everyone here today. They both respect each other, rightly so. But huge amount of money, the fight will be on, and I think you can, the conspiracy theory stuff's rubbish because there's with COVID, there's no other opportunities out there.
So thank you. Kevin, would you like to respond to comments from Eugene about how serious you're taking this fight or otherwise?
Firstly, I thought Eugene did an outstanding job up here before and the promotion really needed it. Secondly, for me, the fight is in the ring, not outside the ring, and having been around boxing all my life, I've learned that. Yes, I do live in Las Vegas. Joe and I have been together for 8 years. At the age of 24, when he won the world title and became the 4th youngest guy in the WBO history to win a world title, we did not take anything for granted. We did not take any opponent lightly, and I can promise, hand on my heart, that we are not taking this fight with Junior Farr lightly.
Why do you think they see that?
This is, look, I can't control what other people think or say. I can control what I say. And I can promise you that this is a fight that we are taking very, very seriously. The stakes could not be higher for us. If we don't get this fight right against Junior Farr, it's going to be a long time before Joseph gets back in the mix to fight for the world heavyweight title. Junior's sitting there at number 6 in the world and he's undefeated. Joe is sitting there at number 3 with a record of 27-2, having fought some of the biggest names in the business. But at the age of 28, Joe's just coming into his prime now. We are taking this fight very, very seriously. This is a win at all cost fight. The 7 weeks that we were going to have our training camp is plenty of time for Joe to be in the best shape. When I arrived in New Zealand, he had done a lot of work early. A lot of strength and conditioning, a lot of stretching. He had kept himself in very good shape. I'd widely reported that Joe was 2 kilograms over his fighting weight. That was the beginning of our training camp. After 4 weeks, we've sparred 50 rounds. With 3 weeks to go, we were right on point for the best Joseph Parker to enter the ring on December 12. So there is no way that we would ever disrespect ourselves or disrespect Junior by not turning up in the best of shape.
Hey, Dave,
Junior?
Are you saying that they failed to disclose a pre-existing condition?
I'm saying, no, I'm not alleging that, but he did have a pre-existing condition potentially, or has done, and whether this is related or not, we weren't really going to talk about that, but...
It's not related at all.
Yeah, well, in any case, I think that the key point here is that the show's been pushed out, and, if they stuff it up again, that payday might never come again, so, it's all on the line.
Are you in favour of them just telling us what the condition is?
Well, it's not my place. That's up to the side.
David, is there a latest point that this fight can happen before the pin gets pulled?
Mid next year at the latest, but they verbally agreed to early next year, so let's hope the agreement sticks.
Time for 1 or 2 more. Anyone from the floor?
Junior, sorry, if you could come up again. I mean, a lot of talking here. You're the one who's actually getting in the ring. Do you feel like you've been disrespected prior to this by the Parker kid?
No. it is what it is. This is, this is just verbal, this is just verbal battles, verbal war. But at the end of the day, this is just going to be fight, and that's what I'm prepared for. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not quite fast with my words, so you're not going to get much from me.
Joe, can I ask your impression just about your sparring? I mean, how's the sparring been, particularly with David Nyika, maybe over the past week?
Sparring was very good. Like Kevin mentioned, our camp was on point, and we had 3 more weeks until we'll be peaking. So sparring's been good, and we got in 50 rounds, and they were getting better and better each time.
Have you hurt David Nyika over the past week at all?
Have I heard it?
Yeah. I hear you guys have been going pretty good, so hard that you may have even injured him a little bit. True.
No, he's not. He doesn't look injured to me. Are you injured?
Come up, David.
There you go.
All right, thanks to everyone for your questions today. Thank you to all our guests up in front of the room, to the CKB boys, the junior. Thank you, Mark, Eugene, David Higgins, Joe Parker, Kevin Bareman, as well. Good luck for the fight on team, mate. Appreciate you being up here. Thanks, guys. Cheers. We'll leave you to it. David, I'll invite you back to the leg turn to make another announcement, if you could, please.
Right, so now for some exciting news, I think.